If you're over 50, there are 7 major muscle groups that you must strengthen if you want to stay mobile and independent. In today's video, I'm going to reveal what they are and give you an exercise to help you strengthen each one. My name is Harlow and I'm an over 50s specialist physio, and I've helped thousands of people over the age of 50 to improve their strength and mobility, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that today. So I'm going to suggest 7 exercises for you today. You can use them individually if you have a weak area of your body, or you can put them all together and use them as a whole body program. Before I show you them, I just need to make you aware they're not going to be suitable for everyone, so do get checked out before you give them a try, and if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. So here are the 7 muscle groups you must strengthen if you want to stay mobile for the rest of your life. Now, for this whole routine, all you're going to need are 2 dumbbells, and they can be any weight at all, because if you've got lighter dumbbells, you can do more repetitions, and if you've got heavier dumbbells, you can do less. As long as you're working the muscle to fatigue every time, the end result is the same. Now, we're going to start right at the bottom of the body and work our way up. And the first, and arguably one of the most important muscle groups to strengthen if you like walking, are your calves. Now, calves get weaker with age, and research shows that if you have a 25% decrease in calf strength, which is really common for people over the age of 65, you also suffer a 25% decrease in your walking speed. Now, this can cause many problems, and I know people in my audience don't like the fact that their walking has slowed down. Now, thankfully, with one exercise, you can improve your calf strength. It's called the heel raise. I'm going to show you 2 variations. For the first one, all you need is your bottom step on your staircase and something to hold onto. And what you're going to do is stand on your bottom step like this, so just the front half of your feet are on the step. Your heels are hanging down. Make sure you're holding on with 2 hands, and then you're going to come up about 3/4 of the way and then go all the way back down until you feel a stretch in both calves. Hold for a second down here and then push up again. Now, the reason we're going down and finding this stretch here is because as we push up from a stretched position, it's one of the most effective ways of building both muscle mass and strength. So we're working it through pretty much a full range of motion. We're finding that wonderful little stretch at the bottom, which will also help you improve the length of your muscle, and then keeping going up and down on tiptoes. Now, you're going to keep going until you hit the point of fatigue. But if you can do more than 30 repetitions of that before it gets tired, you need to make this harder. And the way we make it harder is to take one of your dumbbells, hold it in either hand, and then repeat the exercise. Now, this is a 7-kilogram dumbbell. So what I've done here is I've added 7 kilos effectively to my body weight. Now, for many people, this isn't quite going to be enough. And if that's the case, then put a rucksack on your back, fill it up with some books, and then repeat. As long as you're hitting that fatigue point before you reach the count of 30, you're in a fantastic range for building both muscle and strength. Do that for 3 sets with a 1 to 2 minutes rest in between, and then you can move on to the next exercise. The next muscle group we're going to strengthen are the quads. And these are the muscles at the front of your thigh, and they're very important for walking, stair climbing, and getting up and out of chairs. They also act as your brakes when you're coming downstairs or walking down a hill. So we're going to strengthen them with an exercise called the reverse lunge. It's very simple to do, and it's really effective at getting these guys a bit stronger. So for this, I'd recommend, if you haven't tried this already, have something to hold on to. So the back of a chair works really, really well. And then I'm going to show you how to make this tougher as you get better. So for this, put 2 hands on the back of the chair like this, nice upright posture, have your fingers there resting for support, and then you're going to step back with one of your feet, just putting the toes on the floor, and then you're going to go down like this, and then come back up in a nice smooth motion. So I've shown you how to do that really slow, but in real time, it would look like this. So you're alternating from right leg to left leg, keeping your chest up throughout, and you'll feel that both legs have to work pretty hard to do this, but there's definitely a bias probably towards that front leg when you're going down. So this one's working really hard. Now, your glutes are also going to get a good workout there. And again, we want to be working in a range of between 10 and 30 repetitions. Now, if you can do more than 30, you need to make this a bit harder. So what I'd recommend is to add in a dumbbell. So adding in a dumbbell looks something like this. You can still hold on with one hand, but take the other hand down and grab the dumbbell, and then you're going to repeat just letting that dumbbell hang. Now, you might be thinking, well, that looks lopsided, and you'd be right, but both legs are working pretty hard, and it's added to the emphasis on your glutes because you're holding the dumbbell and it's trying to weigh your pelvis down to one side. So your glutes' job is to bring it back to level. If you're going to do this, do 15, then swap hands and do your other 15. Now, if you're super confident, you can do it with 2 dumbbells. So you're stepping back like this, holding one in each hand. But if you need the balance, feel free to do it with one. It works just as well. Now, moving around to the back half of the body, the next muscle group you must strengthen are your hamstrings. Now, these are the muscles that live at the back of the thigh, and if you're a runner, they're incredibly important. But even if you don't run, you still need nice strong hamstrings to protect your knee and your hips. So what we're going to do here is something called the Romanian deadlift. It's one of my favorite exercises. It's a big compound movement that works your hamstrings and your glutes. We're going to use the 2 dumbbells to make this work. So what I would have you do is put your dumbbells on the floor in front of you and then stand facing them with your feet about hip width apart. Now you're going to bend your knees to pick up your dumbbells, bring them up and have them rest on the front of your legs just like this. Now the movement is simple, but you have to kind of get your head around it. So what we're going to try and do is keep a straight spine. We're not going to arch or round, so keep it nice and straight in neutral. Then you're going to hinge at your hips. So to do this, you push your bottom out behind you, keep that straight spine, and then slide the dumbbells down your legs whilst keeping your knees with only a very small angle of bend. So the knees are staying basically straight, and you're going to hang those dumbbells down until you feel a stretch in your hamstrings. Now, when you've got that stretch, you put the movement into reverse and come back to neutral. So I'll show you again. Stick your bottom out, keep your head following your shoulders, so going down towards the floor, slide the dumbbells. Now I've got a stretch in my hamstring, so I'm going to stop and then bring them back up. And you keep repeating this movement and doing it in this way, keeping that nice straight neutral spine and feeling the stretch in the hamstrings means all the work's happening there, not in your lower back. So we're not rounding the spine, we're not bending at the spine, we're keeping the back nice and straight, and the movement there is actually happening at my hips, if you can see it from that angle. Now again, somewhere between 10 and 30 works well, but to be honest, doing 30 repetitions of this is a big ask. So I would work somewhere between the 10 and 15 range, if possible. Do 3 sets of that, and then you can move on to the next exercise. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about a very special bonus I've created for viewers of this channel. It's called the Complete Guides to Building Muscle and Strength over the age of 50. And if you're someone who is a little bit confused about how to go about starting the process of building muscle and strength, you don't know what equipment to use or what exercises to choose, this is perfect for you. It's an exclusive 25-minute video that you can't find anywhere else, where I teach you all the ins and outs of building muscle and strength specific for people over the age of 50. So it's one of the best things I've created. I'm giving it totally for free to viewers of this channel. All you need to do is scroll down below this video. There's a link in the description where you can sign up. I'll send you the video straight away and you can get started. It's some of my best info, and if you use it, I hope you enjoy. The next muscle group we want to strengthen, if we're going to keep you mobile, is the glutes. And these are the muscles at the back of your hip. They're responsible for keeping your pelvis level when you walk, and they're also responsible for propelling you forward. So this is a lovely exercise to strengthen your glutes. It's called the bridge. It's very simple to do. You're going to lie on your back nice and flat. You can do this on your bed, but it works really well to do it on a mat on the floor, so it's nice and stable. And you can either have a pillow like me or not have a pillow. It's totally up to you. Now we're going to bend your knees as far as you can, all right? So they're close towards your bottom. The next thing we're going to do is flatten your back down into the bed, take your hands out of the way, and then I just want you to lift your toes, because when we push into this kind of position, we want to be pushing mostly through the heel, which activates the glutes better, rather than through the toes, which activates different muscles. So lift your toes just to bias the heel, and then push through the heels, lift your pelvis up in the air just until your body is in a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Now, at the top of this movement, I want you to squeeze your buttocks together nice and tight, as if you're trying to grab a pencil between them. Hold for a couple of seconds and then slowly put yourself back down and relax. So here's the movement again. Flatten the back, push through the heels, lift up to neutral, and then squeeze the glutes at the top, and then very slowly lower back down. Now you're going to keep repeating that movement. So flatten, push, hold, and squeeze, probably somewhere between 10 and 30 times in a row for 3 sets. If that's very easy for you, you can use one of your dumbbells, hold it over your pelvis so you're lifting up like that to add some resistance. Once you've done your 3 sets, you can move on to the next exercise. The next muscles we're going to work are your chest muscles, which are super important for any time you need to push. If you have someone coming up too close to you, you want to get them away, those are the muscles you use. Equally, if you're just opening a heavy door like that, you need your chest muscles. So what we're going to do is something called the incline chest press. And we're going to make an improvised bench at home. So I've got normal dining room chair, normal pillow on the back like that, and the setup is something like that. You're going to sit on the chair and recline back into it and just allow your arms to hang down behind the chair. Now, the purpose of the movement really is to get you in this position. So we want to have the chest out facing the ceiling, your arms drop back like this, and then this is going to be the movement with the dumbbells. So if you can set yourself up at home so you can do that, you're going to be golden. Now let's add the dumbbells in. So what we're going to do here is take your 2 dumbbells, put them on your knees, recline back into the position, then take one behind, then the other, and this is your starting point. Just look towards the opposite corner of the room to keep your neck in neutral and push up and then back down. Now, because of the angle we've got you at here, you are also going to be working your shoulder muscles, which is no bad thing, because as you'll see, that's another key muscle group we need to strengthen to stay mobile. But with this kind of movement here, most of the emphasis is going to be on your upper chest, which is very important for that pushing motion. Now, if you can keep doing this movement until you hit the point of fatigue, again, we're looking at somewhere between 10 and 30 to get out of the movement. Just take your dumbbells down to your knees and then pop them down on the floor. 1 to 2 minutes rest between sets. Repeat 3 sets of that, and then you can move on to the next exercise. The next muscle group you need to strengthen if you want to stay mobile are these muscles around here, your pulling muscles. Now, your pulling muscles are on your back. They're made up mostly of your latissimus dorsi and your rhomboids, and they help you to pull heavy doors, pull anything down from above you. We need these muscles all the time, and you can strengthen them with one excellent exercise called the dumbbell row. You just need one of your dumbbells and something to put your hand against. It's really easy to do. So you're going to face ideally the back of the chair, because that works really well. Put one hand on the back of the chair, step forward with that leg and put the other one just comfortably at the back. Have your dumbbell down on the floor next to you, and you're going to reach down with your free hand and lift it up and just let it hang. Now, what we want to do here is keep your back nice and straight. So you can see my spine is straight, and you want to allow that dumbbell to almost pull your shoulder down a little bit towards the floor, just so we're putting a stretch on those rhomboids before we start. Now, keep your back straight, don't rotate the spine, and all we're going to do here is pull your elbow up and back until the dumbbell touches your body, and then let it hang back down again. That would be 1. And then again, 2, let it hang down, 3, let it hang down, 4, and you're going to keep going all the way up somewhere between 10 and 30 repetitions. Now, the nice thing about this exercise is it also strengthens your arms. You're going to get a good workout in your biceps and also in the back of the shoulder too, but really it's those pulling muscles that work super well. So do somewhere between 10 and 30, 3 sets of that, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Then the final muscle group we want to strengthen today are your shoulders. And your shoulders are so important because they're activated every time you use your arm. So the last exercise I've got for you today is the lateral raise. Now, you can use your dumbbells, but if you've got quite heavy dumbbells, they might be too heavy for this movement. So if that's the case, find something lighter around the house, like 2 bottles of water or even 2 bottles of wine can work quite well, because this is the kind of motion we're going to be doing. So I'm going to show you with my dumbbells. So you hold both dumbbells, one in each hand like this. Keep a nice upright posture. Just squeeze your bottom at the back just to make sure your back is nice and protected. Keep your neck relaxed and then lift out to the sides just above shoulder height and then slowly back down. Now, if you look at the movement, what I'm trying to do is keep my elbows straight. My wrists are locked in one position, and I'm trying to make sure my neck doesn't get involved in this movement as well. And if you're doing this correctly, you should feel the muscles on the outside of your shoulders having to work. You don't need to go much beyond 90 degrees. 90 degrees is absolutely fine. And what we want to make sure here is that as we're lowering down, we do it nice and slow. And as we're lifting up, we lead almost with the pinky. So it's only a subtle shift. We're not doing that. It's more like that. So your dumbbell is almost parallel to the ground when you get to that top position. That just isolates the shoulder a bit better. Now, if that movement causes you pain, feel free to turn your thumb side of the hand up a little bit more, which might take you out of that pinch in the shoulder. But if you can do it with your palms flat or your pinky just slightly leading, that could be just a tiny bit better for shoulder development. Anyway, repeat 10 to 30 in a row, 1 to 2 minutes rest between sets. Do 3 of those in total, and you've just done an amazing workout to help you build all the muscles you need to stay mobile.